Today we're talking about Barry Season 3, an HBO Max original TV show starring Bill Hader that finally came out with its third season after a series of delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the third season, Gene Kuzno's acting class has permanently ended, and Barry, following the warehouse shootout in Season 2, lives paycheck to paycheck once again, all while his former teacher wants to bring him down. If you haven't seen Barry yet, I highly recommend you check it out. It's one of my favorite TV shows. It's right up there with Breaking Bad, Avatar: The Last Airbender. The first two seasons especially are really good. They are two of the best seasons I may have ever watched in TV history. They are extremely riveting. A lot of great things happened in season 1 and 2, so I was really hyped to watch season 3. I could not wait for this season, especially because it's been 3 years since Barry season 2. Now it's finally here. It just ended. What are my thoughts on the third season of Barry? Well, it's a good season, but it's not a great season. I would consider this a disappointment. That's not to say this is a bad season. There are many things I liked about Barry Season 3, but it's easily the worst of the 3 seasons. Seasons 1 and 2 are masterpieces. They are funny, intense, the characters are great, there's plenty of crazy moments, and a couple of mind-blowing twists. Seasons 1 and 2 are truly amazing. Whereas Season 3 takes a step back, and while there are some of those great elements that return from Seasons 1 and 2 in Season 3, it takes a while for this season to get moving. You're not really invested in the story until the second half by episode 5. Unfortunately, too, the season ends abruptly. It loses all of its momentum by doing that, and now we have to wait till season 4 for it to pick its momentum back up. This season was a mess in terms of its pacing. It took a while to get going, and then we're finally riveted by the story, and then it just ends. You kill all the momentum while the story was finally getting good. But I do want to talk about some good things in Season 3. There are a few great character arcs. Sally has a captivating dark turn. Sarah Goldberg nails this performance for the third consecutive season. I'm not sure why she has not been casted in bigger roles around Hollywood. She's extremely talented. She might be the best actor in the show. Please cast her more because she is excellent for a third straight season. Also, Henry Winkler is a legend. He plays Gene Kuzno to a T. Always love this character. He is awesome in the show as usual. And he has a pretty interesting character arc too in Season 3 where before you could tell he was kind of an a-hole. He wronged a lot of people in the industry. But now, after everything he's been through in the first 2 seasons, he's realized that there's much more important things than just his career. And so he has a great character arc where he becomes a much better person and develops a relationship with not only people in the industry, but his son too. Overall, the performances are incredible in Barry Season 3 as expected. Bill Hader, Stephen Root, and Anthony Carrigan too are all excellent. As far as everything else goes in Season 3, yeah, it's fine. It's good. But it's never great. Of course, there are a couple of scenes that blew me away, but I was hoping it would happen more than just a few times. Because in Seasons 1 and 2, I couldn't even count the number of times where I felt like I was glued to the screen and not once thinking about anything else other than the show. But in Season 3, my attention span dwindled more than I would prefer. But obviously there are some great scenes shared between Barry and Sally. I still think Hank and Gene are very likable characters. And once again, Fuchs is a mastermind in Season 3. All of the characters and performances are great, and there are some really good moments in Season 3. When it comes to the best scene in this season, I will stay away from spoilers in case you haven't seen the show, but there is this one biker chase that takes place in episode 6, and I have no idea how they filmed it. It might be the best moment in Barry history just because of the difficulty level it took to film that. They literally had to block off a highway. I'm not sure how else they would film the scene because you kind of have to block off a highway in terms of how the scene works. And I've had to lock up alleyways and small streets when I'm on set. But locking up a highway to film a TV series sequence is really hard to do. That sequence was immaculate. It might be the best moment in Barry history, but I was hoping we would see more moments like that in this season like we saw in seasons 1 and 2. And that's not the only problem I had with season 3. Seasons 1 and 2 kept it to 2 storylines. You had everything going on with Hank and Fuchs, and then you had everything going on with the acting class led by Gene, and you had people like Sally there, and Barry was stuck in the middle. But season 3 has 5 separate storylines, all leading up to nothing. I'm really confused why they brought Sally into the fold so late in this season. In the first half, she's on this TV show and not much happens. Her character doesn't have a ton to do. And when she eventually does have something to do, the season ends. So there's that. Barry's story in season 3 is okay, but I don't totally buy everything they do with this character in the season, especially in the season's final scene. You kind of gotta suspend your disbelief after everything Barry has been through. What also makes Barry's story in season 3 disappointing is that they take away his PTSD miraculously. He doesn't seem to have any remorse for the people he's killed anymore in this season. And you don't feel any sympathy for his character. It doesn't seem like he wants to become a better person. Instead, it's mostly Gene in this season that is trying to become a better guy. And Barry, he's just an a-hole in this show by season 3, and you don't really care about him. You kind of just hate him and hope he dies. Part of me feels like the writers on season 3 had writer's block, because after season 2, yes, it was probably very difficult for them to determine where to take the story next, but there certainly were really interesting routes they could have gone with the story. And unfortunately, it's not that interesting because they separate the story into 5 different blocks, and only 1 or 2 of the character stories are interesting, most notably Gene and Barry. The humor wasn't that great this time around either. Compared to seasons 1 and 2, there is barely any humor. The humor practically dissipates. Seasons 1 and 2 were really funny. I laughed hysterically when I rewatched it about a month ago. But season 3 doesn't have that much humor, and I feel like the dark humor is what makes Barry such a unique TV show. In the end, Barry season 3 is good, mostly because of the performances, but there aren't as many high points compared to seasons 1 and 2. Plus, they throw some characters to the side. Their storylines aren't interesting at all, like Hank. I'm not sure what they were thinking with a couple of the characters. They should have just kept all of the characters together and not separate in this season. It would have made for a much better watch. Bill Hader gives it his all though, and I am excited for season 4. I am giving Barry season 3 a B. Alright, for those of you who have also seen Barry Season 3, do you think it's a disappointment too? Or did you think this season was on par of Seasons 1 and 2? Let me know. And of course, as always, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.